Get ready for action because we are diving straight into the NBA drama. We start with a major question hanging over the Boston Celtics. Should star forward Jayson Tatum sit out Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers? An NBA analyst has weighed in with some serious advice, suggesting the Celtics need to seriously consider resting Tatum for his own well-being.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
But the Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla has already issued his response, giving a firm statement to those who are questioning the star's status. Mazzulla has delivered a very clear two-word message to the doubters about Jayson Tatum's participation in the crucial Game 7. The pressure is mounting as the Celtics gear up for this do-or-die battle, but the team's current performance is raising serious questions. Reports indicate the Celtics' starting five is struggling with a negative net rating and a putrid offensive rating in this series, and experts are analyzing what Boston has in their arsenal. We look at the growing discontent among Celtics fans regarding coach Joe Mazzulla's decisions. Fans are questioning his strategies and asking tough questions about his coaching methods and whether he is making the right adjustments for this critical Game 7. Don't miss the full breakdown. Stay with us. Noi Dung Kai Tight. The Boston Celtics are facing a critical decision ahead of Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers, as concerns mount over the status of star forward Jayson Tatum. Following a disappointing performance in Game 6, where the Celtics were thoroughly outplayed, Tatum sustained an apparent leg injury in the second half, forcing him to miss the entire fourth quarter. Despite expectations that he will feature in the decisive Game 7 on Saturday night, some NBA analysts and former Celtics players are urging the team to reconsider sending him onto the court. And NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins, speaking on ESPN, strongly advised the Celtics to take precautions. Perkins stated, "I'm going to say this to the Celtics and the medical staff and everybody. I'm not going to question them because I'm not a doctor. But I've also been through a lot of injuries and a lot of surgeries. I tore my ACL, and what the doctor told me is, hey, Perk, the only bad news that I have for you is that you have a higher percentage of tearing your other ACL because you overcompensate on that leg. So when you think about what you just said with Tatum, if he's feeling any type of discomfort, he might have to sit out Game 7. It's not worth the risk." And the primary concern revolves around Tatum's recent left leg injury. He previously tore his Achilles tendon in his right leg a year ago, raising fears that overcompensation in the past year has made his left leg vulnerable to a similar devastating injury. The advice centers on mitigating the risk of another serious leg injury, as the Celtics would undoubtedly prefer to avoid such an outcome. However, despite the cautionary advice, reports suggest that Jayson Tatum remains on track to play in the upcoming Game 7. Following a decisive victory for the Philadelphia 76ers over the Boston Celtics in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference first round, speculation intensified regarding star forward Jayson Tatum's availability for the upcoming Game 7. Amidst doubts about his playing status, Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla issued a firm, two-word reassurance to critics. He'll play. Tatum's performance in Game 6 saw him limited to 28 minutes, concluding with 17 points, 6-13 from the field, and an 11-rebound double-double, alongside 3 assists. Prior to the loss, Tatum had reportedly left the court due to calf tightness, which he later attributed to feeling a slight stiffness in his leg during the third quarter. The Celtics opted to manage Tatum's minutes, believing the matchup was beyond Boston's reach, prioritizing his freshness for the crucial Game 7 scheduled for Saturday, May 2, at Xfinity Mobile Arena. While the Celtics have not yet released an official injury report, Mazzulla remains resolute in his insistence that Jayson Tatum will be on the court for the final contest. The Boston Celtics are facing a critical juncture as they prepare for a do-or-die Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers. Following a challenging run, the team is grappling with mounting pressure ahead of the decisive contest. The turmoil intensified after the Celtics' Game 4 victory, leading to a disappointing Game 5 and anticipatory anxiety in Game 6. The pressure is compounded by the fact that star Jayson Tatum sat the final 16 minutes of Game 6 due to apparent lower leg issues, though Tatum has shot down concerns, expressing confidence in his readiness for Saturday night. Historically, losing momentum after establishing a 3-1 series lead presents significant challenges. The Celtics have rapidly evolved from favorites to potential Eastern Conference champions, making Game 7 a pivotal moment that could redefine the season. However, internal metrics suggest underlying issues. According to Celtics reporter Brian Robb, the starting five is performing poorly, posting a negative net rating of -9.4 in 58 minutes of the series, with an offensive rating of 96.5 points per 100 possessions. This is alarming for a lineup featuring perennial All-NBA talents, especially as the team has yet to find a game where all starters have flourished. If the Celtics lose Game 7, it risks being perceived as a collapse, raising uncomfortable questions about the team's trajectory moving into the offseason. Meanwhile, the 76ers remain a formidable threat, with Joel Embiid returning and proving capable of punishing Boston, as seen in Game 5. The outcome of Game 7 will likely hinge on the performance of the team's stars. Concerns have been raised regarding Jaylen Brown's efficiency, with the MVP candidate shooting over 50% in only one game this series, while Tatum has converted just 14 of his last 32 field goal attempts. The contest could ultimately be decided by whether Tatum and Brown can steal the show, or if the power of Embiid and the speed of Tyrese Maxey will overwhelm the Celtics. Celtics fans are voicing intense criticism directed at head coach Joe Mazzulla following a recent, disappointing performance in a playoff series against the Sixers. While Mazzulla has long been celebrated by national media and fans as a visionary coach, whose non-traditional methods and success in the regular season, including leading the Celtics to a 2024 championship and his finalist status for the 2026 Coach of the Year, have earned him high praise, recent events have sparked serious doubts. The controversy stems from a specific series where the Celtics suffered a 3-1 series lead against the Sixers, ultimately culminating in a Game 7 loss. Critics are questioning the team's overall performance, contrasting it with past postseason struggles. Specific criticisms leveled by fans include questions about strategic flexibility, such as the decision to start Josh Minott this season without adjustments in elimination games. The backlash has escalated into direct accusations against Mazzulla's coaching abilities. Fans have questioned his decision-making, pointing to a perceived lack of adjustments, particularly in defensive schemes against specific opponents, and citing prior playoff experiences where he was allegedly outcoached by coaches like Tom Thibodeau. Some commentators are suggesting Mazzulla may be analogous to a flawed coach who relies on a talented roster without the necessary tactical adjustments. The discourse has become polarized, with some fans explicitly stating their disillusionment, declaring Mazzulla a liar, and suggesting his job should be in jeopardy. Others are debating whether his regular season success overshadows poor playoff execution. The debate centers on whether Mazzulla is a genuinely bad coach, or if he is simply making flawed teams appear better in a regular season setting. Ultimately, the sentiment among some Boston fans is one of disappointment, wishing for a different outcome, and suggesting that Mazzulla is on pace to become a legendary playoff dropper if this trend continues. The situation highlights the intense scrutiny placed on coaches during high-stakes playoff environments.